Hello there, friends! IEM Dallas has ended. It was amazing, to be honest. It was dramatic, surprising, and entertaining. And today we will summarize its results. We will go through the tournament as a whole, discuss which teams were good, who disappointed us, assemble the dream team, and lastly we'll show the best highlights. So, my friends, without further ado, let's get straight to it. And we shall start with those who disappointed us the most. Surely Mouz are the first to mention. They placed 9-12, and this is clearly not the result everyone was expecting from them, especially after the win streak at the tournaments they appeared at. In general, it seemed that they should get at least to some semi-finals or finals, but the tournament started with a defeat, and not just to anyone but 9Z. And in the lower bracket, they were able to beat only Complexity, and in a pretty sweaty match. And against G2 with a stand-in, they already lost and dropped out of the tournament. And Torji later explained their mediocre performance. He said it was due to the fact that the guys didn't train at all before Dallas. And my friends, honestly, if you remember, for months this squad hadn't been relaxing at all. Like, even after winning the ESL Pro League, they immediately flew to Bad Boom Dacia Belgrade. They won the tournament, but with wild fatigue, and it was noticeable even from the side. Therefore, before the next tournament, they simply decided to rest, and suddenly the patch drops as well, thus 2 gets in the map pool, and Vertigo is reworked significantly. So, tough luck, and they also drew certain conclusions for themselves, and in the future they will know how to act. But they're still happy with the season. 2nd place at Chengdu, 2 titles, and only 1 bad tournament. All in all, really, that's quite a good season. Another team to disappoint is Virtus.pro. The guys haven't been able to play with a new player well, Electronic, and for the 2nd tournament in a row they just finished in the last places. In Dallas, they could only beat Heroic in a best of 1, which was followed by defeats from FaZe and, surprisingly, BIG. And just as they dropped, Dastan was relieved of his coaching duties. But he's not kicked out of the org, as explained by the CEO. Virtus.pro's director said that after the vacations they will meet and discuss Dastan's fate in the team. They have 1 more tournament though ahead, Blast Finals, and if I get it correctly, you better not build any hopes about Virtus.pro playing there. I mean, they will visit it, but the level of play, I clearly doubt it. Anyways, after the beginning of the new season, guys will have to show something at least, but for now, in general, you get it all yourself. And just along the Bears and the Mice, we see Navi. For the 2nd tournament in a row, they can't even make it to the playoffs. Even some players are clearly trolling them in interviews. Magix from Team Spirit said that their loss to Navi at the major was just a random thing. And now Team Spirit are just much stronger. And yeah, basically overall you can say that they're not really perceived as competitors now by other teams, and they're like a lot of folks that are thinking that Navi got super lucky at the major, and like they will never be able to repeat the result. And you know what, guys, Blade himself says that the changes in the squad are imminent if such results continue. Navi's coach is betting big on the bootcamp, as they won Copenhagen after bootcamping for 2 weeks before it. Now they're gonna have a break, and they will train afterwards. And my bros, I guess only time will tell if the major was a fluke or not. And the last team that I would like to discuss among disappointments is Liquid, obviously. They, unlike the previous teams, finished the tournament in the 7th, 8th places, but this is still not the results we were expecting from such a squad. There have been rumors for a long time that Kadian will be kicked out, and it has come to the point that he himself doesn't know what will happen in the future, and the final decision is made not by the players or the coach, but the org itself. And as Naf said before the tournament, the Dane's fate depends on his performance in Dallas, so it looks like an imminent kick. But however, my friends, it's worth considering that it's not so easy to find a replacement for a player like Kadian. You know, he's very experienced and he's a sniper. So I guess we have to wait for the end of the season and see the announcements from Liquid. And now, my bros, let's move to something more pleasant. The teams that managed to show themselves really good, way better than everyone expected. Here, though, we don't have that many. And here, obviously, I want to start with 9Z. The guys just came out of nowhere and made it all the way to the semi-finals. This is their second Tier 1 tournament, and if at the first one they took the last place, now their progress is visible to the naked eye. And the most interesting thing is that their road to the semifinals was very difficult. They started with a win over Mouz, then they beat Liquid 2-1, but their high point in the tournament was when they shut down Vitality 2-0. And in the end, they lost only to the tournament champions, G2. And I also want to highlight one of the players here, Max. He has a rare disease called keratoconus, and that's why he sits like this in front of the monitor. And you know what, my bros? This is the best example of the fact that if a person has set a goal, nothing can stop them. By the way, thanks to this tournament, they have risen in the HLTV rankings by 23 lines, and they are now 13th. I just sincerely hope that this will not be a one-time thing for them, and we will see this team at future tournaments with this kind of game, because with the cancellation of open qualifiers, I think that new faces in esports will have to do a lot more to make some noise. And surely the obvious team to be way better than everyone thought they would be is G2, and they amazed the whole community. What a story. Not only they haven't had a first place in about a year, but they also played a tournament without Hooksy. Yeah, a lot of people think that it will be much easier for G2 to play without the Dane, but they replaced him with Stewie 2K. The American hasn't played professional CS for like 2 whole years, and his stats show it, to be honest. 0.88 cumulative rating at IEM Dallas. So basically, in terms of shooting, Hooksy is not that inferior to Stewie. And honestly, if you watched any games with Stewie, you probably noticed how he throws nades. Sometimes it was so bad I had to close my eyes. Anyways, by the way, he said that he would shave his head if they win Dallas, but it's been a couple of days already, and the American is still not bald. I mean, there are no proofs, at least. Hopefully, he's not a fraud like Apex. And yeah, back to G2, they were just amazing. Not just they lost one match at Dallas, they were really great. Team play, clutches, good vibes, all of it. And yeah, that only game that they lost was against Vitality, and in the finals, well, you know how it went. They got even and lifted the cup over their heads. And after the win, people immediately started to spam the idea to keep Stewie 2K instead of Hooksy, just because of winning one tournament. As I think that would be the wrong decision for many reasons. And you know what, even the stand-in himself defended the Giga chat. Richard Lewis, in his usual fashion, flamed Hooksy a whole lot on Twitter, and Stewie gently hinted to him that he has no idea what's going on in G2 at the moment. Moreover, Taz, the coach himself, said that Stewie is not a top 1 replacement for Hooksy, so the place is left for the Dane, and most likely his fate will depend on the last tournament of the season. So my guys, fans of G2, congratulations, you've waited for so long and finally it happened. The first title in a year, and off the year. Can they make more? Maybe in Shanghai in December? We'll see. Now let's put together a dream team, and it's not that easy to do, to be honest. Surely we're gonna put m0NESY in the sniper slot, no other options, as he had a decent tournament and even got the MVP medal. And he had the highest statistics among all players. Honestly, Ilya was just that good. Next, I initially wanted to put Electronic in the captain's seat. He played the tournament quite well, surprisingly, with a rating of 1.13. But then I remembered that VP has an established monarchy and the king is James, so the option got dropped. Neither he can fit as a rifler. So our dream team captain will be Nico. You know, it turned out that he was coordinating the guys during IEM Dallas and played almost better than the whole team. He shoots and calls his team to win, so that clicks. I also thought about Apex. He kinda won a couple of games solo for his team, but the Bosnian was more stable and got the title in the end. So I think we'll stick with him. Next, for Rifler, I would pick Magix. What he did throughout the tournament was just awesome. He even outshined Dong for the first time. 1.23 HLTV rating, so definitely deserves a place in the Dream Team. And here's where the problems start. We've got 2 places left. So first, a lot of players who didn't even make it to the quarterfinals have ratings almost the same as Monacy, and they were good honestly, but dropped too early. For example, Brolin from Mouz. While other players have lower ratings, but they made it to the last stages of the tournament. So what should I do here? Okay, I think it will be fair to include those who not only had time to hit good stats, but also took high places. Thus, let's go with Spinks, who will be the 4th player in the Dream Team. As usual, he's one of the most stable players in Vitality and finished IEM Dallas with very acceptable numbers as well. He was carrying them when Zaiwu was sleeping, and even when Matthew was awake, Spinks still sat in the high tab, so that seems pretty legit. And the last player will be Tasses from Heroic. His team finished 5th, 6th, and his rating was 1.25, which is kinda good. I mean, he's one of those unstable players. He can play very well like in Dallas or have like 0.9 like in the previous tournament. But since we're talking about only IEM Dallas at the moment, I believe he belongs in the Dream Team. So this way, here's my IEM Dallas Dream Team: Monacy, Nico, Magix, Spinks, and Tasses. Surely, as always, you can name your top 5 in the comments below, and it's pretty discussable, so don't hesitate. And regarding the best IEM Dallas highlights, you see, in Dallas there weren't like any wild moments, fantastic game-changing clutches, or whatever of that kind. We saw a lot of triple kills, some cool clutches, but not a lot of like, holy crap, insane moments. So I guess let's focus on what we have. And first, for example, is Ime on a non-core weapon who did 4 frags against BIG. But in general, most of the best moments were provided by Monacy. As Nico said, he was just carrying the whole team solo and had decent highlights along the way. For example, -4 from Monacy against Vitality. And by the way, speaking about Zaiwu, let's not forget his amazing quadro kill.
Bangs lively, but Wasso Peak plants safe. Zaiwu finds 2 kills, just like that. We're back to the even kill. No scope for the 3rd. It's a deep kill. Clutch from Zaiwu.
Lastly, I would like to insert just the wildest op moment from Monacy. You see, even Stewie was surprised, and he, in my memory in general, keeps calm most of the time. And that's all for now, my friends. We summarized the results of IEM Dallas, and it turned out to be a pretty decent tournament. As always, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to help us develop. And comment with wherever you want. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time, as usual, so we'll see you soon.